Hello and greetings, guys. Welcome to another Train Sim World 3 video. Today we're going to take a look at another mod. This one looks very special. There are a lot of good modders out there for Train Sim World. And a lot of great mods, not to disservice a single one, but every now and then a really good mod comes along that could easily be payware, and I think this might be one of those mods. This is the DBBR101 Enhancement and Expansion Pack. This is authored by a group of individuals going by the names of Chirimu, Folly Lantern, Fu, and Raf. You're going to get 5 variants of this thing. You're going to get the weather, which we see here before us, and some others, which we'll take a look at, of course. You're going to get new formations. So those are train sets within the game that you can choose from Scenario Planner or the God Mode mod. Some little new bits in the cab. Exterior lighting, so headlights and taillights. And all new sounds. Yeah, there's a lot going on with this pack, and it is, as they note on the page where you can go and find this, like I'll link down below as usual, where you can go and find it if you want to take a look at this thing for yourself. It is noted it is currently in an alpha phase, but from what I've seen so far, it's already very alpha and omega. Yeah. It's a bad joke. Anyway, we're going to take a look at one by one here, each of the 5. This is, of course, the DBBR101, and you're going to need the DBBR101 to use this pack because it is an enhancement pack. And now, while the 101 was very nice on its own, probably one of the best products for Train Sim World 3, hands freaking down. It was already pretty good, but these folks took it another step farther. And we got a lot of really good looking stuff in this pack here. But this is the standard 101. And this is, of course, road number 069. Yeah, I don't know if that's random numbering or what, but touche. Well done. This is the weathered variant, and holy crap, this thing looks so good. This thing looks realistic. So these aren't just, finger paint things within the game's in-game livery thing. This is like a whole new texture. I forget the technical terms. It's like it's an MRAL or MRAO or something like that. This one looks incredible just by itself. You can see the clear coat kind of fading from the sun and wearing out from, possibly salt being used in the snowy winter months, and just beat to hell and back. Grime everywhere. This thing looks bananas. Very bananas. Top him. Let's not listen to those sounds just yet. I've been looking at this pack when I've been getting this ready without my earbuds in because I didn't want to hear it yet. So I don't want to hear it yet. Well, we're going to save that for the end. So if you don't care about skins, just skip to the end. But they changed the headlights as well. So we have some very nice looking headlight color. This is a realistic headlight color. I mean, look how damn good those look. I'll go ahead and darken it up here some. We'll take a look at the headlights while we're at it. We'll make it 1 in the AM. Skadoosh. It's nighttime, guys. Look how good them some bitches look. Those look nice. That's what headlights look like, unless they're, LED or high intensity or, those are what train headlights look like. If these guys could do this in this mod, Dovetail, where are you at? Why do you keep giving us just bright ass white headlights across the board for every freaking train in the game? This is what headlights look like. If they can do it, Dovetail can do it. I'll leave it there. So those look fantastic. Obviously, the color's nice, a nice golden kind of amber color. We'll hop in here without looking around too much. And we'll put them on, get my little flashlight on here. We'll put them on tail lights here. Get back in the seat and outside. And those are the tails. Yeah, they're just more redder. But good night. Look at this thing, man. All right, that's just one of them. Let's look at the next one. All right, this is number 2. This is the back on track livery, and I'd like to emphasize there's 5 liveries, so this does not replace the original. The original 101 will still be there. It does not replace that at all. So you've effectively, when you select your locomotive or your train that you want to run, you've got 6 now. You have got the original, the weathered, and then this one here is the second one as part of the pack. This is the back on track livery. So what's neat about the 101s and a lot of trains in Europe overall is they cover these a lot of times with vinyls, paints, graphics, whatever, in advertisements, just to throw a splash of color on and just add a little vibrance to the rails in the railroad. Is actually what I meant to say. But this was basically an advertisement for like a sustainable green technology convention or something like that. From what I gather, my German is very poor. That took place at Tempelhof Flughafen on, let's see, June 2020. It says it right there. And if you look this thing up, it looks just like this son of a gun. Very, very clean lettering. The font looks on par. The colors, of course, look great as well. And I kind of like this logo. That reminds me of like an old AMD logo there. It looks very nice. You've got your hashtags on the back there. Of course, if you go to biiiiiiiiiig Green Tech Festival, which I did, it's no longer there. It's a dead website, unless you can find it somehow on the historical interweb thing. But this is a nice looking one. It adds a pop of color on the side. It looks pretty much 1-to-1 on how this thing looked. It's still got some weathering on the front there, and it's got the skint forehead or top of the head here, if you will. But this is the second one. So we took a look at the first one, which is weathered, and this one is back on track. Let's go ahead and get to the next one. All right, this gorgeous gal here is number 3 in the pack, and this is the Starlight Express. So this is essentially an advertisement for a very popular musical called the Starlight Express. I won't get too deep into it, but it's about a steam locomotive, basically, fighting modernity and diesel locomotive. Kind of sounds like Thomas the Tank Engine in musical form. But it's also the most successful musical in Germany, and it's got its own purpose-built theater. So it's kind of a big thing there. But it's very unique. So the name on the side or the back there, Marklin, I'm not sure how you say that. That's actually a toy company, and they mainly specialize in model railroading currently and have been for quite some time. But the company started around 1859, so they actually built one of these as well as a model train set or electric train that you could purchase for yourself. But these characters on the side are from the musical or the play, if you will. Now, I don't know who the hell they are, IRL, but I believe the actual train or the locomotive differed slightly with the people on the side. And like one of the real ones, I feel like has like an entire kind of cast or crew in the middle here. And this one's got these characters on the side. Sir, do you mind? People. Anyway, but it looks fairly realistic for the most part. The only thing I kind of notice off the bat is with this livery, there's kind of like a spotlight beaming down on each character from each side, but this isn't, I don't think this is supposed to be an exact one-to-one representation of that locomotive. And then as well on the front, so the Starlight Express here kind of has like a little twinkle or a kind of like a little sunburst deal right over on the T, if I'm not mistaken. But I think there were a couple of these, but the one that this is supposed to represent looks pretty damn close and highly realistic. You know, it looks fairly dark. It may be down to the lighting. I'm on Risa Dresden, which still has the old lighting system, if I'm not mistaken. So it's a bit odd trying to get it in a decent light here just to showcase them on a couple of different routes. But it does have the big old DB logo, which that sucker is extremely sharp. That's probably one of the sharpest logos in Train Sim World. That's the sharpest logo award right there. And then, of course, the paint itself has all these little stars all over it, which is pretty neat. And the characters look very good as well. And this font and this lettering, that looks very nice as well. It's got that kind of bluey chrome look to it, which just looks superb, especially from a good distance. It pops. It looks really, really nice. And as well as the Marklin logo as well, looks really good. But this thing's cool, man. Just adds a bit of spice to the 101 and some variety. You can actually see the kind of sheen on the locomotive there as well. So it's not just, you know, inherently flat. You can see some streaking, some kind of vertical streaking up and down the side of the locomotive as well. This cat looks cool. Look at that cup. Got to protect the jewels in the Mohawk lady. She looks pretty badass. Pretty badass. Yeah, they like skate around and everything. It's a whole thing, the musical. I've never seen it, but I know a little bit about it. But anyway, that is the Starlight Express, part of the pack. Number 3. All right, on to 4. All right, we're counting them down. This is number 4. This is the Inform livery, which again, from what I gather, is basically just an advertising company. But you know, again, there are little details, you know, that they got pretty right with these paints, which look very nice. One of the big things are like the red handles or hand grabs there. The headlights, the red paint coming through up there as well around the headlight on the nose. Just little things like that, which are fairly prototypical, and the locomotive that wore this did look like that. The logo itself looks very nice. That's very sharp. It's got the skint forehead where it's just kind of missing the top of the paint there, which is prototypical for what this thing looked like as well. And the side. So from what I gather on the side of this thing, the Inform, I think there might have been 2 of these. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Possibly even more. Because, what the hell is that noise? Alright. So yeah, the characters on these aren't one-to-one. You know, I don't know if it was a thing with grabbing those characters and putting them on here, or maybe like a legal thing. I'm not really sure. But the thing is they look very realistic. They, you almost really wouldn't know any better unless you really stopped and looked at the characters on the side of this Inform livery, because it's got like an old farmer dude, like this guy right here, and then a couple of kids just hanging out, cutting it up, shooting the shit, whatever. That's what one of these looks like. And then I feel like there's another one that's got some different type of people and like a different arrangement. But anyway, it's a great looking locomotive. Again, it might be kind of hard to see. Let's change the time here. Let's do 10 a.m. There we go. That's a bit better. Yeah, so it's got a very nice silvery hue to it, which looks great depending on the time of day and the angle of the sun and all that good stuff. And it's very weathered with all the grime and dust at the bottom as well. Again, it's got the streaking all down the side, so it's not just one flat thing. And then you can see some shine here, actually reflecting the sun. Got the little red strips here for the windowsill for the water to drip off there. It's just another really good locomotive. This thing looks nice. It kind of reminds me of the color of the Porsche locomotive, which is one of my beloved personally. But it's another great looking locomotive. But the last and most certainly not least is probably my favorite of the pack. But real quick, to show you what's going on with this pack, so it's literally a pack file. And again, if you're still watching this video and you're not sure about mods for Train Sim World, it is for PC only. This will not work for PlayStation or Xbox unless someone figures out how, some way. But it's purely PC as usual. So it's simply a pack file. If you're familiar with that, you just drop it in your DLC folder and you're done. That is it. It is super simple. So you're going to need the 101, the DBBR 101, of course, which is a standalone add-on. Once you have that, in any route that it layers into by default, you should be able to choose. So I'm going to choose Castle Würzburg. Do the timetable. And then here you see DBBR 101. I'm going to click that, and bam, looky there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So you get 6. This is the original. Like I said, it does not replace that locomotive at all. You can just simply choose whichever one you want to drive. And of course, we're going to take a look at my beloved. All right, we have got the IC, or the Intercity, which is a classic Intercity white and red, of course, that the coaches wear in the cab car itself. It was also donned on the DBBR 146. Was it 0.2? 146.2? I can't ever remember the exact dots. But this thing here was a real deal. It is not fictive. It was painted as a 50th anniversary Intercity livery on Loco 13 or 013. So it's like 101 013-1. That is this locomotive, as you can see there on the numbers right between the headlights. But it was painted and put into service, I think, since about 2021, and I think it's still roaming the network. Again, if I'm not correct, please let me know, as usual, in the comments below. But this thing looks incredible. There's something about the old Intercity livery on the German trains to me that just, they strike something within me. I don't know what it is. They kind of remind me of like an old, simple, almost like a Formula One livery from the 70s or something. I don't quite know what it is, but it looks amazing. Now, you may be seeing what I'm seeing, which, you know, of course, a lot of people saw, including the folks that made this lovely mod pack. The locomotive looks a little brighter than the coaches. Or do the coaches look a little dimmer than the locomotive? I don't know. Train Sim World lighting can be weird. Now, with that being said, I do think the locomotive is a bit bright, but again, with that being said, this is an alpha. This is an early access that they were kind enough to grant us plebeian public an opportunity to take a look at this thing, which I'm going to be driving the hell out of this pack. This, like, you know, with mods like this, it really makes me play Train Sim World personally, after like the honeymoon phase wears off of like a new decent route, which is, you know, typically German stuff within Train Sim World. But I think they have already noted that they're going to tone it a bit and just try and match the coaches, just so it's not so different. But good Lord, wouldn't it be absolutely bonkers to have the cab car? Dovetail, come on, man! You give us this IC set, and you don't give us the cab car. I don't get it. But again, it looks great. I think they are going to tone it down a bit. It looks very nice. It's got the backlit area in the headlights there. DB logo, of course, it's got the correct number, 013. Got some weathering on the quarters down there. He's got the weathering up top here. The skint forehead, as I like to call it there. And that IC logo, very simple, clean, yet effective. It just looks awesome. I don't know what it is about the IC livery. It makes me happy inside. It looks good, though. I think they added the AdTrans logo to this pack as well, which go to all of the locomotives. I don't remember that being there. It might have, but possibly they added that as well as, I'm sure, some other things too. But anyway, all right. So that is all the liveries. Let's listen to this son of a biscuit. So I'm gonna try and not talk so much, and we're just gonna run this thing up. I'm gonna get it set first and foremost. Let's see. Got the headlights on. Should be good. Now you'll see there's nothing here, right? That's not the case. Some of these locomotives, I should have shown it. I was just trying to fly through this because I was so excited and try and keep the video short as well. You'll find different items in the cab. Like one of the trains has a Coca-Cola can sitting right there, which is just neat. Neat little stuff. But as well as this logo, I don't recall that logo being there as well. I'm not sure if that's some sort of like a railroad inspection logo or decal to show that the system is working as intended or correctly. Maybe that's what that is, but I don't remember that being there. So that was possibly added, as well as some other things. But there was an all-new sound set made for this thing. So the sounds that it came with were not terrible, not by any stretch. But better is always better, right? So I'm just checking that we're on the right platform here. Let's go ahead and throw on C5 or PZB. Let's open the doors. Get that brake key unlocked. Even that sounds different. I don't remember that sounding quite metallic and clicky. I feel like it sounded like more of a thump before. It does sound different. So I think those were added as well, like button presses and things like that. That might be standard. I'm not totally sure. That's the CFA key. Oh, and of course, the horn. It sounds really nice. It sounds very appropriate. It sounds very prototypical. It's got that high-pitched, kind of clearer whine to it, if you will. Again, the one that was on there wasn't terrible, and I'm speaking in default terminology. You know, you get it straight from the store and buy it, play it. This one, the sound file is good. There is some looping. You might have caught that there if you hold it down a bit. And there's kind of this abruptness to it where it clunks or thunks if you listen. Like right at the end there. But it's not the end of the world. It sounds really damn good. And on the interior, of course, it does sound different. Exterior, interior. Let's go ahead and close the doors up. It sounds a little bit different. And you don't really hear that clunk so much because you hear the actual switch. So that's honestly not all that bad. It's not all that bad. All right, let's listen to this mofo. I'm going to crank the sounds up. And I'm going to do something I'm sure a lot of people would like. I'm going to shut my mouth for a minute.
Zugbeeinflussung. 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 Zugbeeinflussung.
Oh my god. That sounds incredible. Those are some of the best sounds to ever grace any of the train sim worlds. That shit sounds awesome. The little nuance, the powering up, you know, leaving the platform, that deep guttural hum, you know, and then the traction motors and onto the high whine, and then you got, you know, the joint sounds and all that. And then you've got little rattles in the cab of, you know, the thing starting to smooth out and stretch its legs, and then the braking and winding down. Oh my god. This thing sounds bananas. And this is just the alpha, guys. So I cannot wait to see what else they do with this thing. But I know I'm sure as shit. I'm getting like so excited about this thing. I need to calm down. I'm definitely going to be operating this thing a bit more, because yeah, you got to with a mod like that. So just wow. Just very wow. That's it, guys. I'll link it down below if you want to go check out the DBBR 101 Enhancement and Expansion Pack. It's free. All you need is a 101, and you got, you know, 5 cool-ass liveries and some fantastic freaking sounds to boot. This is one of those mods. One of those, you know, for all time. For anything Train Sim World related. But that's it, guys. Just a quickie, hopefully, and go and check it out for yourself. Very, very nice. Bravo to the folks that made this. Holy shit. Thanks for watching. See you next time, guys.